Hello students, today we will read about the chapter name from the diary of Anne Frank, which is an extract from the autobiography of Anne Frank, the diary of a young girl. Anne Frank was a a German diarist of a Jewish origin who was born on 12th June 1929 and died in the month of February 1945. So this chapter is actually an extract from her autobiography, The Diary of a Young Girl. So let's read the extract. Writing in a diary is really strange experience for someone like me. Me is Anne Frank. So it was a strange experience for Anne Frank to write a diary because before he had never attempted to write a diary. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old school girl. So according to Anne Frank, so as she was a 13 years old girl, nobody will put interest in reading her diary, and also she had never attempted or never written any matured writing, just like entering a diary. So paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home bored and listless. So this sentence, paper has more patience than people. So some children are there, they lack patience in expressing their views or feelings. So like that, Anne Frank also, she was not very confident in sharing her feelings uh, or views. So according to her paper, she can write down her feelings in a sheet of in a paper. So I am not planning, since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff-backed notebook, that is a diary, grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So as she did not have a true friend, real friend, so she started writing her feelings in her diary. Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I do not have a friend. So the main reason, the main aim, or the thing that prompted to write a diary was that she did not have a real friend. So I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. It doesn't next in this paragraph, Anne Frank is telling that it doesn't mean that I did not have a real friend, but I have a wonderful family. I have loving parents, a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people whom I can call my friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. But I did not have a real friend with whom I can share my feelings. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I do not want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friend. So she changed the thought, the view that this diary is my friend, and I am going to call my friend the diary, and she named the diary as Kitty. Who was Kitty? Kitty was the name of her diary, and it is the name of her. The diary is whom she called her friend. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, did not marry my mother until he was 36, and she was 25. My sister named Margaret. So Margaret was Annie's sister, who was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I is here Anne Frank. I was born on 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. So up to the age of 4, she used to live in Frankfurt. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, and his mother, she also went to Holland with her father, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with her grandmother. But Annie and Annie's sister Margaret, they stayed with their grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December, and I followed in February, when I was sprung down to on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. Then she is explaining about her schooling day, nursery days, and Montessori days. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Coppers, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. So this sentence tells that Annie had a good bonding, loving bonding with her headmistress, Mrs. Cooper. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. So in the year 1941, Annie's grandmother fell ill, and so that she did not celebrate her birthday. Grandma died in January 1942, and no one knows how often I think of her and still love her. So Annie had a good bonding with her grandmother. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. So here she started, this is the writing from her diary, what Annie had written in her diary. Dearest Kitty, our entire class is squawking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. So she is now explaining her experience in her school days. That is, they were very nervous because the teacher will tell them that who will be promoted and who will stay back. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, CN and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday saving on their bet. From morning to night, it is you are going to pass, not no, I am not. So there was a discussion among the children that you will pass or I will fail, or I will fail, I will pass, you will fail. Like this, they were betting that you will be promoted, I cannot be promoted, I will fail. So not even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst cannot calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. So dummies that are not interested, very dull students, they will be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. So here it's an important line. It is an important line. Teachers can do anything at any time. So they cannot tell that who will be promoted and who anybody can be promoted and anybody can be kept back in the class. So the only subject I am not sure about is mathematics. We keep telling each other not to lose heart. So they were also not doing well in mathematics, and they were consoling each other that we should not lose heart and we all will pass in mathematics. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women teachers. Mr. Casing, the old Fauji who teaches mathematics, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. So here Annie Frank, she has mentioned about her mathematics teacher, Mr. Casing, who she did not have a good bonding with the mathematics teacher because Annie used to talk in the class very much, and that's why the mathematics teacher did not like Annie Frank. After several warnings, he assigned me an extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. A chatterbox, what can you write about that? I would worry about that letter. I decided, I jotted down. So as she used to talk too much in the class, the maths teacher used to give her to write down an essay on the topic named a chatterbox. Chatter means who talks always. That evening, I began thinking about the subject. Then I wrote 3 pages Mr. Kessing had assigned me, and I was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. So according to Annie Frank, that every student should talk, every student should feel free to talk, they should get a chance to talk because it is a trait of every child, and I would do my best to keep it, but it should be, I will keep under my control. but that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit, since my mother talked as much as I did if I not more, and that there is not much you can do about inherited traits. So here Annie Frank is explaining that if I talk too much in the class, because I have inherited this quality from my mother, who also usually talks too much. Mr. Kessing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me another punishment, writing an essay name, and that it was supposed to be an incorrigible chatterbox. So next punishment was to write an essay on an incorrigible which cannot be corrected. An incorrigible chatterbox. I handed it in, and Mr. Kessing had nothing to complain about for more two whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he had finally had enough. Annie Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled "Quack Quack Quack," said Mistress Chatterbox. So, what was the first punishment to write an essay? What was the name of the essay? It was a chatterbox. It's given a chatterbox. Second essay was an incorrigible chatterbox, and third one, quack quack quack, said Mistress Chatterbox. So it was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sani, who is good at poetry, so one of her friends named Sani, she was good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse form. In a poem form, Annie wrote the essay, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Kessing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. I finished my poem. Then Annie Frank wrote the poem, and it was beautiful. It was about, what was the topic, what was the gist of the poem? It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were bitten to death, and the 3 ducklings were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. The 3 ducklings, they were died. They were due to by their father because they were quacking too much. They quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Kessing, the maths teacher, took the joke the right way. When the maths teacher Kessing read the poem, he understood everything. What actually Annie Frank wanted to express in this poem. So he took the joke in the right way. He read the poem to the class, and adding to his own comments and to several other classes as well. So this poem changed the mood of the maths teacher Kessing. He understood that through this poem Annie Frank wanted to express something, wanted to convey something, and he read the poem to other classes also. Since then, I have been allowed to talk, and I have not been assigned an extra homework. So that was the last day for Annie Frank, that Mr. Kessing did not give any homework as a punishment. So since then, I have been allowed to talk, and she was also allowed to talk in the class, as Mr. Kessing understood that it is the trait of every child to talk in the class, and haven't been assigned any extra homework. And he was also not been assigned any assignment as a punishment by Kessing. On the contrary, Mr. Kessing is always making jokes these days, and at the same time also the maths teacher also understood that the every child's trait, and he also started making jokes with the children. So hope children, you all understood this extract from the autobiography of Annie Frank, that every child should get a chance to talk in the class, but it should be under control, and the teacher should make it should not be taken in a negative way. And Mr. Kessing, that how he was assigning many to write essays in as a punishment for Annie Frank. So hope children, you all enjoy this beautiful extract of Annie Frank from the Diary of a Young Girl. Thank you.